What is going on, legendary human? Ryan Magic here, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing 11 productivity hacks to become a productivity machine. I'm not just talking, let's see how we go tidy up some productivity. This is mastering productivity. All of these 11 things are going to be game changers for you. So, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the subscribe button so you can check out my videos and keep yourself accountable to living your best life. Let's get into this video. The first most important thing is to understand how to nail what you're actually focusing on. Most people are just focusing on stuff that doesn't matter. I'll give you an example. There was a period of time of my life where I literally was chilling most of the time by choice. I was like, I want to rest a little bit, relax. And over that period of time, I was still doing over $200,000-300 grand a year in my business, working probably 10 hours a month. Because all I did was the important stuff. I just worked on getting clients and serving them in the most potent way. That's it. Super simple. Didn't spend much time just maxing and relaxing. Most people keep themselves so busy, but they're not effective. And so there are two keys to choosing tasks that you're going to focus on a given day. And this, all that I'm talking about here is about how to make your day insane, like insanely productive. So you need to choose only a few things that you're going to focus on, between 1 and max 5, preferably between 1 and 3. A few things, and you want to make sure they're really, really important. Very simple. That's the first principle. Easier said than done. If you're not actually getting this stuff, like you know in your gut what's actually going to move the needle for you. You know, you're like, that's the thing that I don't want to do because there's fear attached to it. But I promise you, if you did nothing else, and this is the best way to define it, what's one task that if you did today and you did nothing else, you'd still be really happy with how the day went? If you can get that thing written down and you do that, every day is productive. It's very, very important. How do you nail your tasks? Just a few, and make sure they're very important. The second productivity hack that I've got for you guys today is if there's something you've been putting off doing, or if there's something that's a bit of a stretch for you and you really want to get it done because you're hungry for growth, then offer a friend a certain amount of money if you don't get it done. I did this the other day, planning out these videos coincidentally. I put on my social media, on Instagram, I was like, the first person to respond to this story, I'll give $1,000 to if I don't get 20 video plans done today, which is a lot of work. Like this is one, 11, this is an in-depth video. I did 19 others. And the person that responded, I was like, hey, you were the first person. I'll give you $1,000 if I don't get this done, but I'm gonna get it done. But I stayed up till midnight getting it done. There is no way on earth, and that's it. I don't do that every night, by the way. It was just a really important thing I wanted to get done. And I stayed up till midnight. There is no way on earth that I would have done that if I didn't have money down. If I didn't know that I was going to lose $1,000 if I didn't get the thing done. So if you say to a friend, hey, I'll give you $100 if I don't get this done. Can you hold me accountable? They're going to be like, hell yes. You either get it done, it's good for their friend to be productive, or they make $100. I mean, $200, $500, whatever's going to be a stretch for you that you're like, I don't want to let go of that money. Super helpful way to go about it. It'll get done. You just have to have the courage to say, yep, this important task. Yo, Jeremy, I'll give you $200 if I don't get this done. That takes courage. The third, finish from first. So there are two aspects to this. The first one is making sure that you actually get the tasks done. You get them finished. But the other thing is finish each one before you start the next one, starting first till last in order of priority. So when you choose your few tasks that you're going to get done, order them in the hardest, most difficult, most important, which they're usually linked. Link them, put that at the top of the list, and then make the order go from most to least important, and then don't start task 2 until task 1 is done. Don't start task 3 until task 2 is done, okay? Make sure you're working from top to bottom, and it's just All productivity studies that I've read have always spoken about, can you channel all of your time into one thing? The longer that you have to do one thing, the more productive that time is. If you cross between, do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, you're wasting your time and your productivity is getting sapped because you never build momentum. If you're starting and finishing one, it is infinitely more productive than not doing that. So finish from first to last. Number 4, remove distractions. I've got 3 categories for you: social, people, and other. Social is the biggest one in this day and age. Let's be honest here. You're on social right now. You're on YouTube. It's a social media platform. You know, we've got Facebook, Insta, these things. TikTok is just ridiculous. When you are working, and I'm going to talk about how to structure the working blocks in a second, but when you're working and you're in a block, airplane mode your phone or turn your phone off. I know it's a little bit like, I don't want to do that. Or what if your task involves your phone? Stiff crap. Airplane mode it. Just try it. Try it for what? Try these things. This is my challenge to you. I want you to try what you learn here for one day. Just try it. Just try it on and see how it goes. You don't have to keep doing any of them. See what happens when you airplane mode your phone during your work blocks. Your mind starts to learn how to concentrate again. We're training our minds every day to go the opposite way. And the analogy that I like is feeding the 2 wolves. You've got a focused wolf, okay? And you've got a distracted wolf. Every time you've got your phone out and your ADHD or D'ing around and you're just like, go from here to here, have some short-term gratification, sugar, that's getting your head buzzing. Your friend calls you, it's like all over the place. You're feeding the wolf, building it to be, the distraction wolf to be stronger. And then every time they fight, when it's time to get something done, the focused wolf is malnourished because you've been feeding the other one. So watch as you start to feed the focused wolf by airplane moding your phone. Makes a huge difference. The second thing that I want to recommend is Newsfeed Eradicator. On Google Chrome, Firefox, I'm pretty sure it works on both of them. You can actually block the news feeds from showing up, which is so awesome. You go in there, instead of getting trapped in the scroll, you're set, okay? Another thing that I want to mention that I personally do is I do 3 5-minute timed social media blocks a day where I'm consuming. I go in there whenever I want to do a Facebook Live or an Insta Live or do some stories to produce and create content. But when I'm consuming, I do a morning, afternoon, and evening 5-minute block. So if I'm feeling like, I just want to go on and check, want some short-term gratification, cool, put on a 5-minute countdown timer on my phone, and then start getting on Insta. When the timer goes off, jump off, okay? That's another really epic hack that can just help in general for social media. People is the other one. If you're working in an office or you're working at home and you got your parents and stuff, just put a do not disturb thing in, or just say, hey, look guys, when I got my headphones in, I'm focusing. When I take them out, you can come say hi. It can be a little bit, it can feel brutal, but say it in a loving way. Like, I'm really trying to get my productivity going. Can you please not disturb me? So that is very important, because as soon as you get into a conversation, your whole flow is gone, all right? And the last one is other. Distractions can be the tidiness of your place. I did a productivity program 10 years ago that spoke about clearing your desk. If you've got a tidy, clear workspace, it will help you be more productive. But you got to understand what you need. This other is like, what do I need? Do I need to have my water sitting next to me so I don't get up and have to keep refilling it? Okay, do I need some snacks there? So instead of going in, again, what do you need for your environment in the other category to not get distracted when you're in a work block and it's time to flow? And I'm going to talk about the work blocks now. Pomodoro offline. I'm going to get my timer right now so you guys can see it. This thing. So I use an offline timer. It's pretty simple. You just set it. Boom, 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 boom. Start it. Starts counting down. 10-minute block. Reset it. Alarm goes off after 10 minutes because I don't like to be on my phone when I'm trying to work. So I've got this offline timer that I use. It's like where I just went and pulled it from. It's my little workstation. Very, very epic little hack there. But what a Pomodoro is, it's Italian for tomato. And so some person came up with these things called tomato timers, which they counted down from 25 minutes. The theory is that our minds can concentrate for 25 minutes at a time without losing too much focus. Longer than that's hard. You can train it to be longer than that, but 25 minutes is solid. So the recommendation is when it's time to work, you do 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. 25 on, 5 minutes off. And so that 5-minute break, cool. I also set 5-minute timer, boom, break time. I try not to go on my phone. I might do a 5-minute chunk if it's morning, afternoon, or night. I really want to do it, but it's going to be more healthy for me to get my brain functioning well, to have some water, get up. Maybe I will grab a snack or just shake it out a little bit, move around. And I have those 5-minute things. That's Pomodoro blocks. But the way that you work it in with your strategy is when you've got your tasks listed out from top priority so most important to least important tasks. And by the way, I don't include in there little things like, oh, send that letter, or don't forget to call your mum back. I put them on a separate little list of things to remember. They're not in my tasks, my most important 1 to 5 tasks. But when I've got these important tasks, the way that I do it is, let's say we've got the task 1, 2, 3 written out. I then estimate how many Pomodoros it's going to take for me to get it done. So let's say it's to plan out a keynote presentation. I go, okay, that's the most important thing for the day. I go circles like this. You can just do this in a notebook. I go, cool, it's going to take me 4 Pomodoros, I always just say a Pomodoro is 30 minutes. Okay, it's 25, I do it for 25, but it includes a 5-minute break. So I go, cool, it's going to take me about 2 hours to get that done. My goal is to get it done in 4, and I'll always draw another circle, 5 there, and then I'll literally hit this first task and I'll Pomodoro shade it off. 1 done, shaded. 2 done, shade it. 3 done, shade. And I'm trying to beat what I set as the thing for the Pomodoro. 4 done, okay. I thought it would be 4, I set it for 4. Awesome, that's done. And then I go, what's the second task? The second task is I'm going to do a Facebook Live. How long is it going to take? It's going to take 25 minutes. Boom, 1 Pomodoro. Shade it off when it's done. And what you can do if you want to even add to that more is you've got your task written. You've got a little box here which says the goal. Goal's 2. I'm going to have 3 empty circles though, and then you put a box at the end. How many did it actually take? Took me 3. So you got like goal box on the start, and then do a bunch of circles, and then actual at the end. Is a cool way to do it as well. And I learned that from this really sick journal that I used at one point, a productivity journal. Got that hack from there. So Pomodoros, offline, use the timer. Guess how many Pomodoros it's going to take, and then use the timer to measure it, and then shade them as you're going. Very, very simple, super effective, because then there's a little bit, there's an initiative. It's not just I got to do all this stuff and I'm going to try to do it. It's like, no, I've got time blocks where I'm kind of competing against myself. Celebrate, or if you're finding this valuable, guys, I put a little reminder in the videos for me. If you click like, it pushes the message out there to more people. It helps the YouTube algorithm. So if you can click like on the video, that'd be awesome. If you're finding the video valuable, subscribe as well to keep yourself accountable to learning more and growing yourself more. And I'd love to have you on the channel. Let's get to the next point. 6, celebrate wins. And then I say, haters lose. Have you ever met a hater, ever, or seen a hater who's living an empowered life, living a solid life, a fulfilled life? It just doesn't happen. We've got the keyboard warriors back there. They're always sucking crap in their life. Haters lose. But there's a specific point behind this when it comes to productivity. You've got to celebrate your wins. What most people do when it comes to getting things done is they set too many things. They don't have the few nailing the important tasks. And the cool thing about the Pomodoro that I didn't mention is that let's say you've got 3, or let's just say you got 2 tasks for the day. First one's going to take 4 Pomodoros, and so is the second. 2 hours and 2 hours, 4 hours. But you've only got 3 hours put aside for work. Now, what a lot of the time I set my tasks, I look at how long it's going to take, I give it a pretty solid guess, and then I look at how long it's going to take me to do all of them, and I look at the time that I have, and sometimes I've set more tasks than I even have time to get it done. And so what happens is, if I wasn't looking at the Pomodoros and guessing how long it was going to take, I wouldn't know that. And I'd say, I'm going to get these 4 things done. don't even have the time to do it. Then I get to the end of the day and it's like, because I've been feeling so overwhelmed throughout the day that I'm not on track, I'm not getting it done, I feel defeated and then I just give up, right? I've done it so many times and I'm sure you've experienced this as well. The day's a blowout day. I want to get all these things done. You set yourself up for failure because we like to feel progress. We like that dopamine hit of like, boom, said I was gonna get a Pomodoro done in 3, got it done in 2, bring it, what's next? And it keeps us fueled and moving forward, keeps the momentum going. So you gotta celebrate your wins. The more you celebrate your wins, the more motivated you are to keep going. I literally always come back to this in general in life. I look at the comments that I get on videos like this and I'm like, looking for the positive ones, because if I get a negative comment and I see it, I'll be like, oh, that sucks. And I'll be like, cool, I'm gonna go find a bunch of positive ones. Or if I'm not feeling that motivated about the impact that I'm making, I'm like, I'm gonna go see, like I got a message last night from someone saying that she watched my Facebook Live from the day before. She broke down in tears. It like resonated so much for her. And I was just like, that's incredible. That fuels me. That's a celebration for me. That keeps my energy going. But if I feel like I'm not making progress or you set too much and you don't get it done, it's deflating and that leads to spirals down and blowouts, okay? So you gotta celebrate your wins. You get a task done, boom, hell yes. You set yourself up for success. Even if you set 3 tasks, because you're going from most important to least important, and the question to ask to know the most important task is, if this is all I got done today, would I be happy? If you get it done, you got to celebrate that. Even if you don't get the rest of the tasks done, concentrate on the positive, concentrate on what you've done, because that's going to fuel you forward. All right, cool. That's celebrate wins. This next one's sick. Spiritual siesta. I'm massively into spirituality. The spiritual practices like meditation have changed my life. Cool things like kirtan, which is devotional singing, feels so good. I've really gotten into spirituality over the last few years, as you guys will know from watching my videos. A spiritual siesta is the best way to have a full day of productivity. Most entrepreneurs, most of the entrepreneurs that I know, and I know a ton of entrepreneurs that do well over $1 million, over 9 figures, which is one of my friends does $150 million in business. I've got multiple friends that do over 100 mil. And they all struggle to be productive in the second half of the day. Usually after kind of 2, 3 o'clock, the productivity goes from maybe 80, 90% for these gun entrepreneurs down to like 50% or less, 30%, 20% sometimes. Because you tire out. You're doing mind like in business or whatever you're doing, when you're using your mind, it does tire you out. Like you're using your brain power. I get exhausted from doing, I love doing these videos. They give me energy, but on the same token, I give a lot in them, right? I'm really using my mind right now, thinking about what I'm gonna say, what's going on here, right? So a spiritual siesta is a combination of 3 things: move, meditate, and munch. Love that munch one. I was trying to want to keep it triple M. Move, meditate, and munch. So what I found when I do a meditation, I do a 20-minute, what's called a transcendental meditation, which is when you use a mantra to focus on, which allows you to slip through the cracks in your thoughts and just go into this space where you're not thinking anymore. You transcend. And most people struggle with meditation because they're thinking. I'll put in the description right now a video, just cue my videographer, we spoke about this thing. I'll put in the description a video where I talk about doing a meditation that allows you to meditate. Like I'll go really deep into this meditation type, transcendental meditation, how to do it. But I recommend getting it professionally, like learning how to do it professionally. But any meditation for 10, 20 minutes done between, let's say, 1 p.m. and 5 p.m., whenever you do it, your productivity resets. Because essentially what happens when it comes to productivity is we've got a certain amount of energy in the day. And if we take on demands that are above that energy, so we're trying to do this much worth energetic resources, we're trying to get this done, but we've only got this much. When it gets past that, you deplete. You can't function well anymore. So what happens when you meditate is the energy increases, the capacity of energy gets refueled. It's kind of like you're hungry and you're burning energy and you're out of physical energy. You eat, boom, more calories to burn. Same thing with meditation. It resets your mental capacity. So you've got, like, as the demands, you want to get more done, you want to take on more demands in the day, your demands increase, you're living a full life, going out there and crush it. You need more energy to be able to focus for the day. So when you meditate, it resets that. It extends your capacity to focus. And I find it, like, if I need to get a bunch of stuff done, And I always do it at the end of the day. If I've got something that I need to get done later, even though it's late, like let's say it's 10:30 at night and I've got to get something done and I know it's going to take an hour and a half, I will spend 20 minutes meditating and I'll get the task done quicker, even including that time of meditation, because my focus gets sharp, it's reset, it's a boost of energy, and then I'll get the task done twice as fast after. I literally do that. If I got 90 minutes, I'll spend 20 minutes meditating, which might seem like it's only a 90-minute task. 20 minutes is a big investment. It's just a huge return on investment from an energy perspective. So meditation, really important. Munch, get your food in after you meditate, and move. So the order that I do it in is I move, I'll go for a run, I'll dance, I'll do a gym workout, usually one of those, run, dance, or a gym workout, or box. I'll move, then I'll meditate, then I'll munch, then I'll have some food. A healthy meal, obvious, I don't even need to say that. Have a good healthy meal. And then once I've done that triad, boom, second half of the day, second wind, I'm crushing it out. So that's the spiritual siesta. Oh, I love that, spiritual siesta. What a name, these three things. 8, motivational hits. So get this story, right? I just started in business. I've been in business for less than a year. I learned to cold call, to sell websites to tradespeople. Roofers, plumbers, tilers, blah, 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 all this. It was very hard to get myself to call because cold calling sucks. It's I found fun once I was on it, but I mean, it just takes so much energy. It's a big task. And so, but I knew that when I cold called, I closed people and my business grew. At this stage, I didn't know that much about business. I literally hired my friend full-time. This is not a joke. I literally did this. I gave my friend a full-time salary and his only job was to keep me motivated to get on the phone. That was his full-time. He wasn't he wanted to become a personal trainer, but he was working full-time doing other stuff at this point. There was an interjection. My friend dropped some books back off. 2 great books, by the way. You'll never know what they are. So motivational hits. So I was telling the story. My friend, I literally paid him a full-time salary and his sole job was to keep me motivated. His sole job was just to make sure I was on the phone cold calling, which is crazy, but it was so helpful because I was like, if I cold called all day, every day, I'd be crushing it financially. And I was doing okay. I was doing 6 figures, but I wanted to grow it. And so I was like, wow, if I gave my friend a full-time salary, how much is that? How much extra could I make? Wow, it's a good thing because I wasn't getting even 30% out of my day. So I literally paid my friend. Moral of the story is whenever I was low, he would just slap a motivational video on YouTube and be like, watch it. And I'd watch it and I'd be like, all right, let's go. And I get straight back on the phone. He would just tell me, get on the phone, and I get on the phone anyway. But the motivational videos were really, really helpful sometimes because we can get deflated and you don't want to live on motivation because it's not a sustainable source, but it's a good pick-me-up if you need a little hit. I use them. I don't rely on them. I've got all this other stuff. I love what I do first and foremost. But yeah, it can be really, really helpful. Let's go, just type in how to quit laziness, how to stay motivated, motivational rant, and just YouTube it, boom, go. 9, finish with fun. Talking about integration, talking about sustainability. One thing that works really well with me, and this is so freaking important, and this comes back down to celebrating the wins as well, is knowing when your cutoff is. So what I like to do, instead of getting trapped, because I'm sure you found this as well. I've experienced this. I've tested so many things over the last 10 years in business and personal development where I will work really hard for a stint and then I'll fly the other way and be like, oh, and now I'm tired and it takes me a couple of days to recover, or I'm just lacking fun. I want to spend more time with my partner or my friends and then go more that direction. The way to avoid those peaks and troughs is pre-schedule your fun activities for the end of the day. So put in, hey, go to a movie with a friend. Hey, do you want to go for a movie tomorrow night? Let's book it in the calendar. Or book in with a friend. Hey, do you want to go out for dinner? Put it in the calendar. Put these fun things in. Or even if it's downtime for yourself. Downtime for me, scheduled. It is serious. It's it's real. I'm going to read from 6 till 8. Or I'm going to play guitar from 7 till 9. Whatever you need for yourself, calendarize it. So then you know when your cutoff is. And when your cutoff's done, boom, you lose, done. It's like, you don't necessarily lose, but it's like, if you didn't get your task done, cut off. Don't just be like, there'll be exceptions to this. Sometimes you'll just bend the rule because you really need to get something done. But as a general rule of thumb, being kind to yourself, lifting yourself up and going, you know what? I deserve to have time where I'm having fun with friends and I get the chance to schedule it and finish the day, integrate, have some balance in there. But it's important that you schedule it. And so when I say finish with fun, if you finish the end of the day, finish the end of the week, finish the end of the year. You determine where these end things are. But one of my friends, Chelsea, she has 100,000 plus following on Instagram, does mindfulness. She's an ambassador for mental health. Incredible woman. She has a break, a 1 week break every 6 weeks. She is a machine at growth. Her business is super successful. She's got a bunch of staff. Her and all of her staff have 1 week off every 6 weeks. They have to take it to spend time for themselves. How crazy is that? But she knows every 6 weeks. When it's time and it's on and they're not on the break, they go. At the end of the 6 weeks, boom, rest. And so if you know you've got things coming up, scheduling holidays, scheduling seminars to attend, scheduling, those kind of things for the long term. And then at the end of the day, fun activities, downtime, you've got something to look forward to. You're always balanced no matter what. This is massive. And it's awesome. It makes your life, what's the point of just working hard, getting to the end of your life and dying? It's like, you gotta have fun on the journey. 10, play to your strengths. This is big. I'm doing a video right now. I love doing videos. This is my strength. Like, I love doing this. If you got me creating, I can do spreadsheets. I'm good at numbers, but I just do not like it. Logistics, I'm moving out of my place today. So this is the last time that I'll ever be filming at this house. I'm moving out of this place. Logistics of organizing, remove lists, admin, organization, for me, I'm the worst at it. I'm the worst manager. I'm really good at understanding managerial principles and managing managers or teaching them, but I suck at the actual management, the detail focus, the attention to detail. Like, it's terrible. And so when I'm looking for tasks to do, I get the right balance between outsourcing and not doing certain tasks and then doing the things that I'm good at. It's so much easier to be productive playing to your strengths, where you feel good doing it, you get rewarded doing it, you get recognized doing it. Massively important. So audit some of the things you're trying to get yourself to do. Do you even want to do this stuff? Find things, and this is why no matter what you're doing, there's different ways to go about it. You can make things fun. I should have put this in there as well as a cool extra bonus tip right here. How can you make activities fun? You can just chuck music on while you're working, and you can just have a little bit of dance in your step as you're doing the same activity. It's when you do things that you enjoy, it's so much easier and you'll be way more productive in general. This is like one of those play to your strengths, is like one where people will just ignore that, do everything else, and you constantly have an uphill battle. This is very important. And 11, action precedes clarity. A lot of the time, what halts productivity is confusion. Confusion on a macro scale. I don't even know where I'm going. Well, I don't even know what my next step for my business is. Or confusion with a project. I want to get Facebook ads working, but I don't know where to start. So 2 questions you can ask yourself. Or actually, before I say the 2 questions, you've already seen them. I tried to cover them up like it's brand new. Action precedes clarity. When you start moving, things start to get clearer. But usually when we're confused, we get paralyzed and we need to know how it's going to work before we move. So giving yourself permission to ask yourself these questions. What can I do? You might not know, like let's say you want to do a Facebook ad. I don't even know how to do an ad. What can you do? Oh, you could read an article about it. You could just plan out what you think you could do. You might not know it exact, but what can you do? And then that taking action on what you can do starts to unravel the clarity. It's very, very important. And what do I know, right? So you might be like, I'm confused. I don't know where I'm heading with my business. What do you know? I had this experience recently. I'm like, I don't exactly know what product I want to launch next. What do I know? I know I love speaking. I know I love videos. I know I love content. I know I love helping people. Okay, cool. That fills me with enthusiasm. Like, okay, what can I do? And it's like, well, I can create content. I can keep changing lives. I can speak to people. It just helps. And then the activities that I set were in relation to this. And this is exactly what I did. Again, cameraman, James, behind the camera. I hired him saying, hey, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but let's get moving first. And now we're doing videos. Clarity is forming more and more each day as I'm moving. But the action precedes. It's actually precedes, proceeds. The spelling errors on this is just ridiculous. Precedes means comes before. So the action first, clarity second, not clarity to act. Okay, very important. Cool. So let's summarize this right now. And if you found this valuable, guys, drop us a like on the video. It's going to push it out there and it means the world to me. But let's summarize this and nail it all together. You're going to nail your tasks. Make sure they're important and make sure you're only doing a few. Offer your friend money if you don't get it done. Make sure you complete the first task before you start the second and so on. Make sure you set your environment up for success. Biggest things, airplane moding your phone and making sure that people know not to disrupt you. Pomodoro, you're doing 25-minute chunks. List out how many you think it's going to take with each one so you can make sure you haven't overloaded yourself with what you're trying to get done for the day. And then have an offline timer, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. Celebrate your wins so you feel enthusiastic about doing the next thing. Have a spiritual siesta where you move first, meditate second, and munch third. Have motivational hits when required if you're feeling low. Finish with fun, schedule stuff that excites you so there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Play to your strengths. Don't keep doing tasks that you hate because your whole life will be deflated and it'll be hard to be motivated and be productive. And lastly, move to get clear when you're unclear. So that's this video. Your action task now is to jump in the comments right now. I respond to the comments, I see them. What do you want to do out of all of these? What's one thing that you're gonna do? Just one. You could write them all, but I want to know what's the one that stood out the most for you that you're going to execute on, right? So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would love to be taking you on your journey of personal growth. So if you jump in, you'll see my new videos that come out. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. So click the subscribe button. If you haven't liked the video, like that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.